All right.
All right, let's talk about WoolieVersus winning fighting game of the year again. Woo!
I don't.
Every year.
I know it's pretty much the story. I just don't like TGA anything because it's so meaningless.
I've had this discussion like 4 times.
All it does is once a year, it's a reminder that some stupid that is meant to some stupid shit that doesn't matter, that's not real, pops up, makes no sense, gets everything wrong, makes everyone upset, and then it goes away for another 12 months, and then you don't think about it till it comes around again. And
okay, so here's the fun thing, right? You are an expert in your field, this subdivision of pop culture, right? I would call you an expert. I would also say that I am an expert. I would say that most of the people listening to this podcast are experts. And it's very easy as people who are just as intelligent and well-informed on all of these games and all of these prizes and all of these to go, this shit is stupid, this doesn't matter. Woolie, to average normie man who's thinking of an RPG to buy after he's done with Madden this year, the Game Awards absolutely, totally fucking matter.
yeah,
Like the Oscars.
yeah.
Hey, are you into movies? Are we doing a movie podcast? No, but if we did do a movie podcast, it'd be very similar to this. And we'd be like, man, the Oscars get it wrong every year, every single year. But you know what most of the movie-going public sees? This thing won 12 Oscars. Holy shit, that must be the best movie ever.
And
I gotta watch The Revenant.
Well, all I really want is for like something like Balatro to get its accolades, so that the people who made it or the devs are, it's like, hey, yo, you did a fucking awesome job. Hey, look, and then it can get that spotlight. Maybe even have there be a storefront page that's like, hey, winners of the awards. Hey, look, you get a little bit of extra boost because you deserve it because you did a super good job. And that's the type of shit that like it should amount to. But it's never that simple, is it? It's never just simply like the creators of this did a good job and deserve some praise for that. It's always this other shit, this nonsense fucking
All right,
dreck.
So I want to go into it because this is so fascinating to me, because the reason why WoolieVersus is up is because they needed a certain amount of fighting games to fit into it, and for everyone there forgot the Rivals of Aether there even exists, right?
Well, they didn't forget. They just, they got the list that they were told to get, and or they played the games for an hour or two and wrote their impressions down.
So actually, the way that this works, I remember Jeff Gerstmann talking about this back in like 2015, like a long time ago. And the way that it works is the same as it always is. And there's a problem with the judging process because they're attempting to make it too fair. Like, I actually genuinely mean the attempt to make the voting process for the TGAs or the VGAs or whatever the fuck version we're talking about is fair, makes it a certain way. So the way that it works is really simple. Keeley says, hey, these newspapers, these websites, these things, so this newspaper and GameSpot and IGN and GameRank and all these people, right? I want you to send us one judge. I want you to ship out one judge down to San Francisco, which is where all of you are anyway. And I want you to send one guy down here, and then we'll argue about it, and we'll put together the thing of nominations. So what ends up happening is they send down usually either the EIC with the editor-in-chief or like the second tier guy, which are the people who tended to review the biggest budget and largest games of that year for business purposes, which means when they walk in, already Elden Ring is a front runner because everyone in that room played Elden Ring.
Of course.
They may not agree that it's the game of the year, but they all actually played it. And I use the example of Castle Super Beast. If there was a Castle Super Beast game of the year right now, it would be between Mouthwashing and Metaphor, the only two games we both played that came out this year.
But I also, this historically, hate the top 10 idea stuff, and I don't like listing because I also know how many things I didn't play, and I'm like, I know you can definitely always qualify and go like, yeah, it doesn't matter, none of it,
yeah,
etc. Right. Yeah, so that's going hard top of my list in many cases, just based on sheer hours played. Although Shogun Showdown is catching up, I'm not gonna lie.
So what would happen? Let's say you say Shogun Showdown is like your game of the year, it's the best, and I go, well, I didn't play that shit. But I played Balatro. Do you think Balatro is pretty good? You'd be like, yeah, I'd play Balatro is pretty good. And we end up at the consensus that Balatro is the game of the year, even though that's not how you really feel, right? When Balatro gets nominated in a situation like this, what I believe it to be is that they sat around talking about these things, and one, Shadow of the Erdtree kept coming up, despite the fact that it was disqualified from the rules, so they changed the rules. And second, of a group of about 30 people, there must have been at least 2 people that would not shut the fuck up until Balatro got a nomination.
Right.
Like, disruptive, I'm going to kill myself if you guys don't put Balatro on this list. I will scream to the heavens, Balatro deserves at least a nomination.
Giant bomb style. We're locking the door and the knives come out. I mean, that game's fucking incredible, so, it is what it is. I get it. But when it comes to, like, for example, this whole DLC discussion with Shadows of the Erdtree and shit.
Oh, that's so unfair.
But it's the thing is, like, I don't care in the sense that I'm actually super fine with DLC counting. I don't care. Like, I don't find that's not what.
Oh, really?
I don't find that to be an issue. Shadows of the Erdtree is a giant, significant piece of gaming content that was released
in the DLC category.
So the only thing with this is I'm just like, be consistent. Don't be a hypocrite. If that counts, then. Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty counts.
But then it didn't.
But no, Woolie, Phantom Liberty counts as best ongoing game, even though it's also not an ongoing game. That's for games that's for gas games.
Yeah. So that's it. Like, I don't give a fuck whether you make it count or not, but be consistent. Don't be a hypocrite, and don't make certain things count just because it's nearer and dearer to you, or it gets a special place versus other things. As long as you're fair, then go either way with it.
The reason why Erdtree gets to be in there, so the Elden Ring can win 2 years game of the game,
and it's fucking year. Elden Ring, and you want to talk about casually? It's like, yeah, that's the biggest thing in the fucking world. So that's a spotlight on a very known, giant, immersive video game industry shaping experience.
I can't wait till the TGAs because everyone gonna be mad and. Elden Ring is gonna win. Like, I would think it's really funny. I would think it's like the funniest fucking thing in the world if Elden Ring's DLC did not win Game of the Year, despite the rules being changed to get it in
by nomination.
That'd be really funny.
But then there's the other bit, right? And here's the aspect of it where this is like in the same way that it's like, oh man, the fucking Logan Paul Tyson bullshit. Where it's like, yeah, and then you put out, you have tweets and you have like, hey, who's gonna get biggest snub? Who do you or whatever. You have these like things where there's a part of this nomination time of year where we're supposed to be doing this in advance of the thing happening in a couple weeks, right? Everybody has to start talking and going off and getting mad, and there has to be a big negative discussion around it because it's a huge like. Fucking whatever, it's a big storm of attention before the thing actually drops. So like, it's actually best if there is some type of controversy or some type of stupid thing or some type of sifu in the fighting game category. Like, it's good actually to get everyone.
Sifu got in that category because of controversy. I thought it got in that category because the people doing the fighting game category don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Of course. But you know what, man? If you can be a shit on Twitter and get paid for it, then why the fuck wouldn't you?
Well, hey.
Like, I just, that's the thing. So I'm like, yeah, and then also this is what it's supposed to be.
I'm being a shit on Blue Sky, by the way. Now I deleted all my tweets.
Okay. Yeah. No, I mean,
I'm actually being way less of a shit on Blue Sky. It's very weird how the tone of a place changes your opinions.
no, that's nice. No algorithm. But yeah,
I think it is really unfair to people who put out games this year to have to compete with Elden Ring again. I think that's like just bringing out the greatest champ that ever lived to fucking beat down the new challengers. It sucks.
I guess, and I mean, I'm like, should Marvel Collection be on that list? Is that,
I think
I guess.
I think we've hit a point where remakes and re-releases should really live in their own category because there's so many of them in every category.
Well, yeah, and we're in a time where we're going back to a lot of old shit and preserving it for future sake in this current gen. But it's like, you want to throw on collections and stuff like that. Then it's like, okay, you can do that, but yeah, we have then Under Night and all these other things that just get, like you said, Rivals of Aether, fucking Under Night 2 came out. It's like there's a million things you just go like, yeah, no, we just completely, no one who came in to make a decision here took a look at that. And so because there's a perpetual problem with the choices here not having their ear to the ground, I guess, then it's just going to be a fucking manufactured outrage machine. And I bums me out. I don't know. I'm like, all right, well, but yeah, Shadows.
But also, there's going to be trailers for Xbox games there.
Yeah, I mean, I think Shadows of the Erdtree was incredible, and I think it deserves some kind of something.
I think it absolutely clears.
I don't care what you call it or give it, but it deserves something. Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. It deserves the same thing that Brood Wars would have got. Fine, make categories if you need to, I suppose, but. And then yes, a whole lot of trailers, and especially looking forward to the mobile game trailers and tie-ins for things that you can't quite tell.
Hydrobot. Do you remember Schick Hydrobot? I think about him every year.
No, I don't.
I think about him.
I mean.
I love this fucking stupid bullshit. I love it. I eat it up.
Yeah.
My favorite. It's my favorite meal.
I realized
this stupid bullshit
forever. Oh man.
Because by being blasé and smug about it, that just shows how much smarter I am than everybody else.
Right.
Because I'm not being affected.
Right.
Look how fucking smart I am. Oh my god. But also, it's fun to do that shit with the Oscars too.
If only
it's just,
if only there was a way to get these game creators their accolades without the bullshit.
Well, the Golden Joysticks is like this Thursday.
Oh, hey.
And that's voted on by other developers.
Nice.
Like last year, other developers said that Baldur's Gate 3 was the best game that's ever happened in the history of the fucking industry because it won every single award it was up for.
I look forward to seeing how Matan will figure out how to crash this year, despite probably having his face on the security wall.
Is that the Bill Clinton kid?
Yeah, he's actually a internet person who has a podcast and is a known person with a huge following and like does that as a professional thing.
I will admit, I did see a clip of that kid that was actually really funny. Mm-hmm. In which he asks someone, so do you read at all? And they said yes. And he's like, name 10 books.
Okay.
And like, he didn't say name 10 books that you have read.
Yeah, just name the books.
10 books. Mm-hmm. And they fucking stalled out.
Right.
And I'm like, that is a conversation ender.
There you go. Yeah. Perpetually 17 years old and so on.